Greetings, class. I'm Professor Andy Galloway, and this is going to be a review for your midterm. Now, your midterm is going to consist of 25 multiple choice questions. Now, don't get freaked out about time, because you're actually going to have 2 minutes each question, okay? And you're going to have 50 minutes total to take this thing. So I'm going to tell you guys, read each question carefully, choose what you think is the best answer, make sure that you read the question slow, because I have some of those least likely, except, make sure that you look at that and you say, okay, I know that I'm looking for the one that's not like the other, or is least likely, and read all the answers carefully as well. And I'm going to go ahead and go through with you kind of what you need to review for that. The first thing we have on the midterm review, if you have your sheet with you, which is in the files section under the exam reviews, I think it is. Anyway, the first thing says prehistory America. So for this, like, know how people believe that most of the people came from Asia over here to the New World. Know important things like the Archaic phase, what happened during that. Then we get into early colonization. And as you remember, we talked about those other countries. So make sure you know the I'm not gonna ask you too many questions about the Spanish, but know about the French explorer, the big French explorer we spent a lot of time with, and Dutch explorer. Okay, make sure you review both those guys. Then we're going to get to England when it started colonizing underneath the entrepreneurs. So, like, know the London Company, which was the company that started Jamestown. Know about what they had done prior to that, as well as possibly England's colonial policy before that. Know about this under the 4 regions of British settlement. And you could say it was also the economy of the regions, but that's a little later. Know what caused Jamestown to prosper. Guys, I say Chesapeake, you say tobacco. Yeah, tobacco. Look over how they got the labor they needed for the cash crop of tobacco, the headright system, review over what that is. Next thing we talked about was New England. Know where the Puritans, where their first settlement was, after they got lost in the voyage, where they wound up. Going back to the Chesapeake, though, real quick, and know that I really like the colonies that were started as refuge. So know about Maryland, know about Rhode Island, know about Georgia, know about Pennsylvania, know who established them and why they were established. In the lower South, know like what was kind of unique about what South Carolina's cash crop was. Know which region became like the breadbasket of the colonies, because you had colonies producing cash crops, and New England, which basically was focused on the maritime. So who was the breadbasket? Also, in the middle colonies, it had 2 huge cities. Know what those cities were and what their populations were. Know about, when we talk about the Great Awakening, the 2 big figures to look at that are Jonathan Edwards and George Whitefield. Know what both of them did. Okay, in the French Indian War, you have Fort Duquesne, which at first Washington went out to build up Fort Necessity. He got whooped by the French. Know who the British general was that also got whooped by the French? know what Benjamin Franklin did at the Albany Congress to try to assure victory for the colonies over here? Okay, guys, every single thing about the period after the French Indian War, know that the British needed money. Remember, they had more than doubled their debt, okay? So in almost everything, why did the British government do this? Chances are it's either to prevent another war that would be costly to their empire, or to try to get more revenue from the colonies. Okay, so that's what we have with like the Proclamation Line, the Sugar Act, the Stamp Act. And know why the Stamp Act got repealed. What else we got? Oh, and also at the same time it's repealed, we have the Declaratory Act passed. Review over what that is. With the East India Company, that has to do with the Tea Act. Know what the Tea Act and the East India Company have in common. And the last thing, common sense. Know who wrote Common Sense. Pretty simple. Okay, so once again, guys, don't freak out. You're going to have 50 minutes to take this final. Most of you will probably finish before time. Don't worry. Read everything slowly. Make sure you choose the right answers. Take your time. That's the most important thing. No need to be stressed. Okay? I hope you guys do incredibly well. And I look forward to hopefully seeing the great job that y'all did. Okay. Bye-bye.